How's it going, guys? This is episode 2.5 of the Beauty Bunch, and now we're just going to talk a little bit more about basketball. We're going to talk about the Leafs. And you wanted to start off with something, Aldo? About basketball? Basketball talk?
Just couple things this year, kind of interesting to me. You know what? I think this is a good question to start off with, because even if you're not a fan of basketball, you can kind of have your own opinion of it. LeBron James to the Lakers.
LeBron James. LeBron James.
And just snip it now. Yeah, so the thing about him, fans were not salty about him leaving as he did the first time, and he went to another big team, like the biggest team in basketball, arguably.
Biggest struggling team.
The Lakers.
No, but arguably the biggest, known franchise.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
impact,
Yeah, fair enough.
nostalgia.
Them and the Celtics are the two legendary franchises
Yeah.
in the league.
No doubt about it. They got the
So-
most.
Lost their legend, Kobe. They're missing something out in the Lakers uniform. LeBron came.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about teams just players joining a team just because of how their notoriety of a team?
So super teams and all that kind of.
Not necessarily
you
super
talking more,
teams.
but like the whole.
But why the fact he picked L.A.
But
versus staying in Cleveland and going to
Well,
New
I can see
York?
versus Cleveland or going to Houston or Philadelphia. Other great teams would have been perennial contenders.
Because
with him.
certain teams mean more if you win there. It just really does.
It's a good point.
Like, for instance, whoever goes and is the lead superstar on the Knicks, whenever the hell they win one, they'll go nuts. The Knicks
Yes,
is
it's another Leaf situation.
it's
Whoever
just-
breaks that Leafs
yeah,
curse,
that's just going to be an absolute insanity of a time. Like,
I
there's
think
just locations, and then ultimately it's lifestyle. You
yeah.
want to go live
Yeah.
on the West Coast, on the beach.
you want
it's
to come
hot.
up to Toronto where it's freaking minus.
But
people don't wanna do
that's the
that.
thing,
Or
too.
Cleveland.
It's just like
Only thing good about Cleveland was LeBron.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that-
So there's nothing good about Cleveland anymore.
yeah.
Sorry,
They got a
Cleveland
hopeful
fans.
Browns team, okay? They're very hopeful.
That's true. That's all right.
And MGK.
I'm an Eminem fan. So
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
a coach over here, man. I like
Detroit.
MGK, but
Yeah.
you got slaughtered, bud.
Oh man, I don't know. I thought he had. Okay, whatever. We'll talk about this.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. The guy's done so much in the league already. You know what I mean? He had that whole thing about versing the Warriors. Also his run at Miami. Also his time at Cleveland, even before he went to the newer Cleveland, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I think honestly at this point, it kind of reminds me a bit like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Is that he just kind of just done so much, and I just feel like he just wants to move to LA because there's that LA reputation of the basketball team, but also just living out in LA and you got like a bunch of money. Like I think that just sounds like the dream. You know what I mean?
He already had an LA home before he even, obviously, like that. Just because he had to spend his off season in LA working out and whatnot.
Yeah.
His kid. He sent his kids to school. He was looking at schools in LA while in Cleveland. It's all fingers pointed towards him going to LA. Also, LA had the cap space inside not only him, but another star, like Paul George, a hometown boy.
Okay, so I want to get into that actually, but just before. So I want to talk about if they're going to sign somebody in next offseason, but just before that, I think him signing to LA wasn't an NBA decision. I think that was a strictly business decision. Slash family,
That's good.
slash the wife going, hey, if of the choices you've given me, I would enjoy living in LA.
Yeah.
It's a family and business. This guy's thinking about when he's
not
done.
into cheesesteaks, so
he's
not
making,
going into Philly.
He's already in the process of making movies. He's just thinking about his business and what he's going to do once he retires.
No, honestly,
he did just drop that I Promise school in Cleveland.
Exactly. Still, Cleveland's still his hometown.
Yeah.
He's still going to respect Cleveland. Doesn't mean he's not going to do stuff in Cleveland. But L.A. is where you go if you want to make movies. You want to be the businessman.
That's
business
a very good.
deals.
Not only that,
L.A. is that business place. But I also think, so he goes there for that. I think it was more business perspective when he made the move. But if you want to think about it in the NBA perspective, truthfully, what's the only thing LeBron actually cares about? He wants to
Be the
have a
GOAT?
better he wants to have
Yeah.
a better legacy than MJ. That's all this man cares about. And so, although I do think this was a business decision, if you can be a player to win a championship on 3 different teams, I'm pretty sure that's a first. That's another thing that just checks into his legacy. That's something unique, something that he can go, okay, I didn't win technically 6 in a row, 2 3-peats, however you want to call it.
I wonder what his team was when he was younger.
MJ. Three
Who?
different teams. That's impressive.
Who's that?
LeBron.
What do you mean? Like, how good were they?
No, who was his team growing up? Like, I wonder who.
Oh,
Who
he
did you
was
cheer
born in
for?
Cleveland.
Yeah, he was born in Cleveland. Doesn't
He
mean
got
he's a
he got
Cleveland
drafted
fan.
right out of high school.
I think he's just saying,
like,
did he actually cheer for
I'm
Cleveland
sure
or
he
was?
cheer for.
Do you think
Who
Cleveland.
knows?
the-
Maybe he loved Boston or LA if he really wanted
Well,
one
think
of the
about it.
big.
How old is he right
big
now?
markets.
He's 30.
He's 34. He just turned 34 December
34.
29th or something like that.
I got a fan that grew
December.
up a Canucks fan first before he became a Leafs fan. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's possible, but I mean, this guy was looked at when he was like 12 years old in Cleveland, and they're like, okay, if we get the first pick, you're gonna get picked in 6 years, like kind of thing. Like it was known he was going first overall to whatever team picked him,
Oh, 100%.
and it was just so happened to be Cleveland, the tanking team that year.
Well, they tanked. They gave themselves the best odds. They
Yeah.
jumped big.
See, I agree with you. But not only just that. There's 2 things that I think, other things that impacted his decision. Okay, it was he looked at the core of the Lakers, and they have, again, the money to sign another star, and an amazing supporting cast, and a player in Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, who both have the potential, especially Kuzma, to be all-stars in this league.
I don't doubt it, but
Also,
Go
Golden
ahead.
State kept beating them in the finals. I think his mindset was, let me get to this team before the finals.
Actually, hold on a sec. Thinking too, they're gonna be playing pretty much in the same conference, same league.
it looks like they might hit each other in the first
Yeah,
round.
well,
the
the
2 seed versus the 7 seed.
Well, also that, but I think he also just, maybe it's something that was in his back of his mind. I don't think it was just a major decision, but he wanted to play the Lakers more. I mean, Golden State more.
Yeah.
You
You only
how
face
many
them twice a year.
how many
and
players do you hear that say they, like, for example, in the NFL, that want to switch into a team into the other team's division just to keep on playing?
Often in the NFL.
Yeah.
Often
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I think there's
could
a
add
little.
more Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers matches,
Yeah, maybe.
different divisions.
Exactly.
Stuff like
Tom
that.
Brady, Drew Brees.
Like stuff
Yeah.
we could have seen.
So I think that was a little bit of a mindset too. I don't know. For all we know, he's just strategically just planning on how to destroy this dynasty of a team. You know what I mean?
Aldo mentioned it. I think the biggest thing is just that cap space. He knows. So yeah, there was definitely players that he
Mhm.
saw attractive, but he's like, they can pay me, and I can bring in a buddy. And so
And
Magic,
kind of what he did with Miami.
Magic
made the
already
super
said.
team.
So Magic first said he's like, I will step down if I basically don't sign a huge fish. And like that basically was LeBron.
Mhm.
And so he signed LeBron.
The biggest
and,
fish.
And now he's like, this will be I am a failure if I don't sign another fish next offseason, is essentially what he said.
Look at this way.
So they're going to go sign. So my question to you
Mhm.
is there's a lot of options. There's the Kawhi, there's the Anthony Davis, there's the Durant, there's the Klay Thompson. Who do you think's most likely to join him in LA?
Okay, it's not
Anthony
Kawhi.
Davis.
It's not Kawhi. And I'll say,
Anthony Davis.
Do you think, on quickly the Kawhi talk, we don't have to make a crazy talk, but as we're Raptors, do you think it's more likely for Kawhi to join the Clippers over the Lakers?
yes. Okay. Kawhi does not want to be the second man on a team. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when he came to Toronto, Lowry's now the facilitator, the second best
Oh,
player
it's
on
Kawhi.
the team, right?
It's Kawhi.
It's
Kawhi's
Kawhi and the guys, and Kawhi, 1.5 Lowry,
Yeah.
and the guys. You know what I mean? You think he wants to be in LeBron James' shadow? Does he really? He already won a championship at like 24 years old. He doesn't care about being. He doesn't. A lot of players, they join these super teams because they have this pressure of, I need to win one championship to be in the Hall of Fame. So for people to look at me not as like that guy who Steve Nash never won a finals, but still regarded as one of the highest. But that one asterisk on his resume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never won a finals.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dirk Nowitzki. Half the reason he stayed with Dallas for so long, first of all, he's a great person and he's so committed to one team, but it's because they won that one championship with him in 2011 or something like that. And he felt like, I don't need that. I won't have that asterisk on my name. Kevin Durant, he left OKC after losing to Golden State, going up 3-1 against them.
Yep.
And because it was Russell Westbrook's team, and they were arguing whose team it was. Kawhi wants to be that lead guy. Now this is why I think he may go to the Clippers. I think his best chance is for him to go to the Clippers because the Clippers right now are good in a Western Conference and they have no bona fide star. They just have an amazing
They got rid of Griffin
supportive.
recently,
Got
right?
rid of Griffin. They got rid of Chris Paul.
Yeah.
They got rid of DeAndre Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you. Everything that I've heard is that it's more likely for him to go to the Clippers than it is the Lakers.
Yeah.
And that's I will agree with it because I mean then I don't know Kawhi personally, so I'll believe mostly from what I've heard from the sources that I respect. But nonetheless, people often then talk about how he really is just chill and he doesn't really care about too much and he's not too concerned that he loses that one extra year of money by not signing with the Raptors. Like only we can offer him that one extra year. A lot about him not caring about stuff.
But see, I disagree.
I almost think he then, if we think he's so chills and he doesn't really care about too much, he's a quiet guy, he's reserved. I don't see why he wouldn't also then just be like, fine, I'll go to LA, I go to the Lakers. LeBron still has to talk and do all that stuff. I can still kind of be quiet. I'll do my thing. I'll win some stuff. I don't think it's as far-fetched as a lot of people bring it out to me. If I had
don't
to
think
bet,
it is.
I go
No, not at all.
Clippers.
I agree.
But I think like everything
Didn't
I
he-
hear is no chance he's going to the Lakers now.
Yeah, well,
I
he
think
want
that's still possible.
when he was at San Antonio, he wanted to go to the Lakers, didn't he? Well, there was a rumors around that was saying
well,
that
the thing
he
that's
wanted.
his home. That's home.
Yeah, I know,
Right.
but
I think
he
a lot
didn't-
of-
that was his
he didn't grow up.
that was his
He
childhood
didn't grow.
team.
No, wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was the Lakers.
I swear, I thought I heard that he wasn't a Lakers.
No,
fan.
you may be right, but I'm pretty sure I heard he was a Lakers fan. Well, see, the thing is,
He's such a reserved, quiet guy.
Like I
That's
said,
the thing,
I don't-
too. Like
yeah.
he hides so much about himself. You know what I mean?
So
like he's
then maybe it's a good thing to hide behind LeBron. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
like people, I don't feel like taking into account.
Kawhi on the Lakers with LeBron,
Like,
Lonzo,
ooh.
and that team.
Ew.
Oh my God! I know it's all speculation. Honestly, I'll throw another team out there.
Yeah.
The Knicks, because the Knicks have the cap space. They got a great two young guys in Kevin
yeah.
Knox and Kristaps Porzingis, and they have the cap space. And the Knicks are like the second or third biggest market in the league.
Okay, what do you think about KD? Because I've heard speculations about him at both of those locations.
Yeah, I see KD going to New York, even though he denies it.
You think he's going to go to New York? He's going to be a Knick,
KD won his championships now.
right?
He has a chance to three-peat.
Yep.
He does not need to stay on Golden State and be the
You
know
think he's going
the
to go try?
snake
You
anymore.
think he's going to
I-
be the guy
I
who
think
tries to win it?
I
in
think
the-
if he wants
in
to
New
fix, I think if he
Durant
wants
to the Suns.
Oh, never, never, man. The problem with the Suns, man, is like nobody wants to go to freaking Phoenix, man. Like they have the cap space, they have Devin Booker, like teams when they go to it's kind of
Something
like
about
going to
Phoenix and
Phoenix.
sports
Yeah, I was gonna
teams,
say it's kind of
man.
like Phoenix and sports, man. Like, is your career ending? Are you a semi-good player? Go to the Phoenix Suns. They'll pick you up for good money. Like,
Okay, so you got KD going to New York.
I got KD going to New York. I got Kawhi going to the Clippers.
Okay,
the only
so then
the only difference.
Davis staying at
My
Davis
question-
staying in New Orleans. I
So
have
Davis stays
staying
in New Orleans. I think you would say is Klay Thompson going to stay in Golden State?
No, I'm gonna throw a curveball here. Klay Thompson and the Lakers.
That's the guy you going to the
Oh.
Lakers?
Klay Thompson and
He's
the
got
Lakers.
Klay Thompson and the Lakers.
You know how? Because you know what it is. You know, Klay
What?
doesn't mind being in the shadow of a star,
I mean, he's
you
doing
know
it
what
with
I
Curry.
mean?
Yep.
and he already won. Again, he won 3 championships.
I feel like him and Curry are just too tight. I feel like that.
No,
I feel like
the
it's
Splash Brothers.
yeah. Like I just feel like he
The
was
thing
he was
is-
a part of the 3 that got drafted. Him, Steph, and Draymond. They were all they're the core of the organization.
agreed.
You know, like
Ag-
I feel like there's something there's
Agreed,
some
but-
special connection to that.
This is what my problem with it is though. Durant's leaving. He may
Right? So,
stay,
you,
but
so
the-
you can pay Clay if
Durant's
Durant leaves.
Andre Iguodala, who's
Old.
one of the best players, he's not playing well this year.
Nope. I'm a fan of him too, but
I'm a
he's
huge
not
fan of
playing
him.
well.
So it's Durant leaves, Iguodala falls off. Then you really have Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins. The only reason, because he's the other All-Star, he hasn't started.
Yes,
he's
when
the-
you're
but
not paying him
it's
crap,
because
but
he
yeah.
has the Achilles problem and he hasn't
Right.
even played a game this year. So
Correct.
he just took some money
Yeah,
on
he-
the best team.
Just
And
come to the best team,
you
prove
can't blame him for it.
yourself.
You
yeah,
can't blame him
was
for it.
business move.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and you know what? He's betting on himself to prove that he's worth that $30 million a year contract.
Exactly.
Agree. So he's not resigning with
Nope.
Golden State. So
then
now we're left.
You tell me Golden State's going to lose Durant and Klay Thompson.
Durant, Klay Thompson, aging Iguodala, and then
So you're
it's
telling me
gonna
this is the last year of the dynasty?
yeah.
Wow.
I honestly believe. I think,
Wow.
the thing is though, they still got.
If I
what are
dropped
their
my
contracts
mic
at,
and
though?
it wouldn't sound terrible,
Curry's
I'd do it.
locked up for 4 years. Durant's got like 2. Sorry, not Durant. Draymond's got like 2. Klay Thompson free agent this year.
Wow.
Durant free agent this year.
You heard it here
Iguodala
first.
aging.
The dynasty is dead.
But look at them now.
Aldo said it's dead.
Kill the king.
Even
the
now,
king is
like
dead.
even the way, okay, they're the weirdest team. They'll win by 30 this year and then lose by 20. You know what I mean? Like
It's been interesting this year. This has not been the dominant.
I see Klay
Golden
Thompson
State
wanting
we've
to.
been used
But
to.
there's such high expectations too.
Always.
You know
You're
what I mean?
expecting like 70
thing is-
wins because of that season.
Yeah.
I don't see Klay Thompson being the number one guy on a team. He's great. He's a great 3-point shooter. He can put up 40 points a night for you, but he's not a facilitator. He's not a point guard. Obviously, that's not his position, right? But he's not going to be the number one guy on the team. I feel like he's going to realize this team's falling apart. They're going to give me $30 million a year on the Lakers, and then I get Lonzo Ball, who's like a bougie version of Curry, but he's taller, but can't shoot as well, but he's a better passer. I could argue, but
You think they're gonna keep Rondo?
no, Rondo's like a mentor role right now for Lonzo. I think right now because they're just kind of they're not tanking, but they're not like a perennial contender.
Rondo,
They need that middleman, and that's what Rondo is.
Rondo was about that and the grit. It was like, okay, this team's really not that good. LeBron's like, I need some dogs. I need some
agreed.
people
That's
to
what
get,
Lance Stevenson is.
exactly.
Agreed.
I need some
agreed.
people
Yeah.
to get
Agreed.
to stir the shit up a
Agreed.
little bit.
Yeah.
Some bodies, not afraid to get a little mad. That was Rondo. That was Stevenson. That was kind of part of the game plan there. Personally, for me, I'm gonna go with I say Klay Thompson stays in Golden State. I think that connection with Steph is almost Lowry, DeMar-esque. And then I think Anthony Davis, which I understand.
And you see how far that got Larry DeMar.
And hey, yeah, and they're salty about it for sure. I know this is not as a popular opinion right now, but I'm gonna guess Anthony Davis. I
To
think
the Lakers?
Lakers. I think that would be insane. Those two huge bodies.
Oh my
How
goodness.
those huge
Unbelievable.
bodies
Unbelievable.
every game. Think about that in a 7-game playoff series. That would wear your
Oh.
ass down.
Oh.
Down.
You're talking.
I don't know if Anthony Davis will leave. That's my issue. But like
That's
that
that's
would
what I
be-
think. He
oh
seems
my
like a very
God.
noble person. He seems. How much time do I got left?
We're like 15 minutes. We still got to.
Okay. So I'll go for a bit long
Yeah.
because I've been going with LeBron and the Lakers. Like I want to speak about some
let
other
me bring up
topics.
my
Yeah,
quick
go for it.
small
Go for it.
topic. You'll enjoy it. I
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
it up with you guys
Yeah.
off air. I thought it was some of the funniest stuff. I couldn't believe you guys went on board. So when the Raptors played the Bucks earlier this week, when the Raptors turned the ball over, I believe it was over and back at half court. The Bucks played Kawhi Leonard's laugh in the background while they're waiting to inbound the ball. And it was some of the funniest shit that I've ever seen in my life. As much as I love you, Kawhi, but your laugh is just hilarious to laugh at.
It's just so like awkward, but it's just like so great at the same time.
I'm not a big guy on trolls, but God, that was a great troll.
Yeah,
job.
that was
like
a
I
pretty-
applaud. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
You gotta laugh.
honestly, I'll
when
just
someone does good, does you dirty, but it's hilarious.
see. I'll
Yeah.
keep it short.
Respect.
Right now, you got Milwaukee and the Raptors are the top 2 teams in the East, arguably the top 2 teams in the league, right? And you know what? They're gonna find any little edge to try to. It didn't matter anyways. The Raptors won the game.
No,
They,
but
Yeah.
They're gonna throw. But the Milwaukee crushed them earlier in the year. I think twice they crushed them.
man, if I was a Bucks
So-
fan
Yeah,
at
but
that
we were
game,
one of that game. We sat out all of our stars, or well, we had like all of our stars pretty much injured.
Okay, fine. But so they got a little like competitive. I think what the thing is, Milwaukee's that team where it's just like, how do you make fun of them? It's Milwaukee. Nobody
That's just
expects them
funny.
to.
Freak.
I'm a Bucks
But you
fan.
can't make
and I'm
fun of
there.
him,
I
though,
have
like,
a
you
I
know-
great
don't know. Call him a
time.
freak.
You know, like I think honestly,
I think it's fine. It was a good shot.
Yeah, it was a good
Raptors
shot. That's all
aren't
it
upset
was.
about
It
it.
was-
Kawhi's not going to.
it was a-
Kawhi,
it was
I
a
bet
good
you Kawhi
taste.
laughed at his
Yeah,
laugh.
he
you
probably
know?
thought it
Like,
was funny too. Like
Yeah.
no one's upset about it. I think it was a nice move.
Okay, we're talking about Kawhi, so I'm just gonna talk about the Raptors quickly.
Let's do it.
This is actually a fun question. So, obviously, everybody knows in the offseason we traded DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl for Kawhi and Danny Green.
You know it.
Yep.
Both expiring contracts after this season,
Facts.
Danny and Kawhi.
Yep.
But DeMar was locked in for another 4 years or something like that, and Poeltl was on his rookie. So, they went for the win now, and this is all we got kind of thing, right?
Yep. Going for the wall. Going all
The
in.
Raptors also have an aging Surge. Jonas Valanciunas has owed like $15 or $17 million as a 20-minute a night guy, which makes no sense to me. We got CJ Miles. I think he's making like $8 million, and he hasn't played in the last like 2 months because of how bad he is. We signed Norman Powell to 4 years, 15 a year. You know, 4 years, 11 a year or something like that. And
Norman's been looking good lately.
I don't disagree, but he looked
Lately.
terrible last year.
Looked terrible.
And he looked terrible to start
terrible.
the season.
Lately, he's been looking good.
He's been looking very good.
Looking good.
So, you're the Raptors franchise. Kawhi looks like he's leaving. That doesn't look like it, but there's a good chance. I would say that there's an 80% chance. Of
Odds
Kawhi
are
leaving.
not in our favor.
Not in our
Yeah.
favor.
I wouldn't. Would you say it was 80 though?
I would say 80.
I feel like
I would say
I feel like as the year progressed, it's kind of shifted a little bit more. Like I,
think
still
he
think he's
always
gonna
had the
leave.
intention. He's a big family man.
I
Kawhi.
can't give you
He's a big
odds
family
until
man.
playoffs end.
Yeah, but I feel like he's a big family man. He wants to go home. I feel like that's always his intention. I feel like he wanted out of San Antonio.
I don't know, man. I feel like if they didn't blow that relationship through that injury, I feel like San Antonio locks that type of player up.
No. San Antonio's aging, and they're never going to be a franchise to tank. But they're a bottom 7 team in the West now, bottom 6 team.
Yeah.
I know, but they were still pretty decent when Kawhi was there before the year he played.
Well,
9
they got
games.
4 out in the first round. Like,
Yeah, but they're always a team that was just always
It's
competing.
a very
in the playoffs.
respectable organization.
very.
Like,
100%.
honestly-
Greg Popovich is the
Like
most.
Popovich,
yeah,
Popovich
He's
is the
the-
equivalent
he's
of
the
Belichick.
Babs.
Yeah.
Like he's
He's
the Babs.
yeah.
He's whatever you want to call
The
it.
Belichick, yeah.
Speaking of which, I actually want to bring this
You
up.
could argue Phil Jackson is.
I want to
but
bring
that's
this up
fine.
quickly.
Respect. Bab socks.
Yeah, I bought
Bab
socks today.
have been spotted.
Oh man, how long have I said I wanted these?
Great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, that's
Christmas
awesome, dude.
in
Yeah.
Toronto world. Gotta
Honest-
love it.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I could wear a coach on my feet, but to each their own. You know.
You got any other Raptor talk? Anything
Yeah,
else
that's
you wanna
that's what I
throw in
wanted to
there?
get to. So, looks like the Raptors all in. They win a championship.
Oh,
they
definitely
don't.
all in.
It doesn't change
No
the
doubt
fact
about it.
that they got expiring contracts left and right. They got starting contracts on weird guys. They got Jonas Valanciunas on a terrible contract. They got CJ Miles on a terrible contract. What the hell do the Raptors do? They're all over the place come
All
next
out, man.
next year.
I think honestly, the whole plan, I think
They're
was
going to
with
have
that
$40
trade
million
too.
in cap space.
Yeah.
Convince somebody.
Kyle Lowry is going in on next year will be his last year. And he'll be, 33, 34 years old? And, buddy, he's as tall as me.
He's gone after that.
He's
yeah.
not. He's going to be a backup
gone.
after. You know what I mean? The Raptors are straight up rebuilding after this season.
That was
straight up.
That's
They're gonna
that was the
ban.
game plan. Ball
they're-
out this year.
Yeah,
I don't think we can.
they're
beat-
banking on
I don't think we
Pascal
can beat
Siakam.
Golden State, but hey, if we win,
If there is
championship,
the
it
year
doesn't
to
matter.
do it.
I don't care how many shitty contracts we pay for the next 10 years.
Okay,
It doesn't matter.
that's fair. That's fair. But again, they still got to go through Houston. They still got to go through OKC. I mean, these teams make the finals. I'm not even talking about the East. I'm talking about the teams in the finals. They still
Yeah.
got obviously Golden State.
I understand.
You
we
know
still
what I
gotta
mean?
come out of the East,
So,
right? We
so
gotta beat Boston. We gotta beat
the
Philly.
Raptors went all in with
Bucks.
the mindset that come next season they're completely rebuilding, aging Lowry, bad contracts, ton of cap space, and I think that's the worst thing the Toronto organization could do.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the team is finally picking up steam, as fans are finally hopping on the Raptors bandwagon train, and they're finally like, "Oh my God, Rudy Gay's not our best player anymore." you know, Chris Bosh.
Those were the days.
People are people in Toronto are still cheering about Vince Carter. That was 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Finally, the Raptors are like something, and now we're gonna rebuild.
Yeah.
That is what you do not do as a franchise. That is how you lose fans. That is how. What are we gonna do? Have the Raptors hopeful when they go 22 and whatever, like 60 or whatever, like
Hate to
when
tell
they're
you, but
tanking?
once you got rid of DeMar, that was just what the decision was.
Not to
That's
mention,
what the
yeah,
decision was.
agreed. Not to mention, if they go to the finals, they're getting the 30th pick in the draft. They're not picking up nobody. Like, okay, draft picks can be hit or miss. Obviously, any draft pick can. But they're not picking up a Zion Williamson or an R.J. Barrett, who, by the way, is a hometown boy, and I would love him.
How do you
Build a team around him, but
you said Lowry is going to be gone next year?
after next season, his
Yeah.
contract's over.
So
You-
can't they? If they are and Kawhi leaves, how is Danny Green on his last?
Danny
contract?
Green's on his last year. He's making, I think, $10 million. And
Yeah.
but the thing
So
is, Danny
if-
Green seems like he's going to resign. I don't know why. I have a gut feeling Danny Green's going to resign.
I
would
hope
love that.
I
would love
really
that.
like Danny Green. I'm not gonna lie, but my question is for you: is let's say if they both go, would you kind of do like the same thing that San Antonio kind of did? Is use Lowry as kind of leverage for a trade and pick up pieces
There's
from that
a
if they're
big
gonna go.
difference. Lowry's going to be 34 years old, man. Like,
There's still gonna be
Kawhi
teams that are
Leonard
gonna
was
want him.
27, 28.
There's still gonna be time. There's still value in
the
him though.
problem is, though, he's going to want a bunch of money still at 34 years old, and he's not like. The thing is, you don't want an aging point guard, man. Only on contenders do you want that aging point guard. But are you going to give him $25 million as a backup?
We're not paying him after this deal.
No, Raptors won't.
He going.
The Raptors won't. Especially, I bet you he won't even resign because he's still salty about the DeRozan thing. You know what I mean? Watch him go to San Antonio.
They'll reconnect. The
Y-
boys will reconnect.
You
a
know
little.
what I mean? Like,
I'm just like
the Raptors are. This is the worst thing they could do. You're gonna win a championship, get your team hopeful, and then rebuild.
well, they're pretty much just trying to go brute force past that Golden
But
State.
you
wall.
gotta have something to work with, man. You're gonna have Fred VanVleet as your starting point guard, DeLon Wright. Like, they're both great, but they're great backups. Fred VanVleet, I can see more of a starter. The boy is 5'10". You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a different league, man.
It is what it is. It's not that much different.
You're
Difference
getting
if
a
we still
high
have
draft
DeMar.
pick. They've traded draft picks over the next few years. You're losing your fan base. You win one, everybody's hyped for this year, but then in the next 4 years, you're bottom.
Actually, yeah,
I think if you took a poll of Raptors fans and then they said, do you either want 5 years in a row of playoffs or a championship season this year and 4 years in a row we missed the playoffs, I think they take the championship.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Honestly,
That's gonna be skewed because of bandwagon.
this is yeah, that's true. That's true. Because since basketball is like, especially
It's
Toronto
heavily
Raptors.
You want to
bandwagon.
win?
Well, no, the thing, yeah, basketball is a heavily bandwagon
Toronto
sport.
wants a W.
But the thing is too is that's the thing. Like, we
We're
want a
waiting.
champion so bad. Last time we won it
So
was
bad.
'94 with the Jays, right? Was it '94 or '93?
We got the Argos.
we just want to
Argos
win.
don't
Like,
count. I'm sorry.
Vince Carter
Argos
came
don't
here,
count.
gave us a little sprinkle, made us believe, almost got there,
Oh,
missed the shot.
That's another thing I want
we
to touch
want to
on.
Yeah.
get there. Like, we just want to win.
That's
Yeah.
another thing I want to touch on. We talked about
We're
this
such a
last night.
huge sports city too. Honestly,
But there's a difference between Toronto Leafs and the Maple Leafs and the Raptors.
yeah, that's the thing though. Yeah, but that's the thing though, because Leafs fans, no matter what, they can be bad for another 20 seasons, and they'll still be one of the richest
We'll-
teams in the
We'll
NHL.
show up to
NHL.
games with bags on our head.
But
Yeah,
the
We'll
Leafs
be pissed, but we'll show up.
Yeah, we'll
Just
spend
disappointed.
$130 for tickets in the nosebleeds and show up with paper bags over our faces.
But we paid.
Yeah, yeah, more money for MLS.
But the Leafs are contending now, and they still have a future.
That's true.
The
No.
Raptors went all in and then nothing.
I
That's
don't think
my
that
point I'm
makes
trying to make.
I don't think it matters. Even if we don't trade for DeMar, we're already fucked on our contracts. Like, we already have a bunch of them that
No,
are terrible.
well, we keep Jakob Poeltl, another young guy, another young prospect. We keep DeMar DeRozan for 4 years, a guy you can build around.
I agree. It hurts as a fan base to have your number one scorer, assist, all this crap get traded. That hurt as a fan base, but
Not to
Yeah.
mention, then Lowry will sit back, take that lesser contract, and nurture a young guy. Now he's not going to be willing to do that. Anyways, I know we're hard on time, so I'm just going to spitfire a couple things quickly. Denver looks scary. Denver's like the number one team in the West right now. I don't know where. Jokic is a beast. James Harden's winning MVP. Russell Westbrook and the OKC Thunder definitely have a chance to knock off Golden State in the early rounds.
Yeah.
In the East, Boston, I don't know what's going on with
You
them.
think Boston's gonna bounce back? That's what I want.
I do
to
not.
ask.
I think Boston has too many personalities. I think they got the potential to have 5 20-point scoring guys, and none of them can find a way to work together. I think Kyrie Irving also has a little bit of an ego problem. I think Milwaukee's a scary future team because they look good now, and they're gonna look good in a few years because Giannis is just getting better with age, and not even his backup the team built around them, and I think the Suns are screwed.
What about Philly?
I think Philadelphia, again, this is the problem with Philadelphia is, man, like Ben Simmons is the kind of
Too
guy
much
that will
ego
sit
again?
back, too much ego, but Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler, like, I feel at one point they're going to butt heads, man. Jimmy Butler's just had an attitude. Ever since leaving Chicago, man, he's just had this terrible, terrible attitude, and Joel Embiid is this kind of man who will not put up with that. Indiana Pacers, if they get 1 or 2 pieces, they look like a great team.
Like always, though.
Yeah,
Pacers
to
are
be fair,
always
they
a
have
team
Paul
like
George. Now
that.
they have Oladipo, and they have, Oladipo's more of a facilitator while also giving you 30 points. So I think Golden State's, I said it earlier, their dynasty's over after this year. And
Get on some puck.
watch the Knicks make big moves. And, yeah, let's take you guys for the puck.
All right, sweet. So you guys catch the Leafs Nashville game?
The
See any of the high?
spanking?
Yeah, that spanking in the last period.
Should I say the third period spank?
Yeah,
it was
the
a close game.
the third period spanking. I don't know. Like a bit of it was. Here's the thing, with so much offense force, like you just kind of expect to do something against teams that have huge defensive presence. Nashville is one of those teams that is probably arguably one of the best defensively
Agreed.
in the league, right? Especially with a stellar netminder too, right? So I just don't understand how you don't show up for half of a period. Like, especially in the second period with the Leafs, like, they weren't showing up at all. Like, how are you not able to do that? Like, you got so many chances before, but, like, this is the thing that worries me about this team. They can't beat Tampa. They can't beat Nashville. So what's going to happen in the playoff time? It's something like Cody Hutchinson. You know what? He looked great. I think he honestly looked really great the last few games. The guys in front of him have not really been doing. I don't know if it's because I'm being a little bit soft on him because he's the new guy in town, right? But I honestly think he's doing not that bad.
My worry, you bring it up. My worry is just when we get to playoffs is how's our young guys going to deal with it, because they didn't exactly do too well last time around.
Well, they did. They did. I disagree.
Matthews faded
No,
a bit.
Matthews
Nylander
completely-
didn't play
No,
too
but
well.
Yeah.
They
Marner
still took
did decent.
the eventual champions to 7 games.
What?
They took Washington to 7 games last year.
No, last
No,
year
last
we
year was
lost to
Boston.
the
Yeah,
seventh.
2 years ago.
Oh, sorry,
was
2
Bo-
years ago
yeah,
it was
yeah.
to Washington.
Yeah.
Last year we lost to
Oh,
Boston.
but we took
Yeah.
Boston to 7
We
games.
took Boston 7 games and we lost. We
Yeah.
wanted to win one round for sure.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
That
the
was
Leafs
And
can't
for
beat
a
Boston, man.
team,
They didn't look that good,
a-
man.
a-
I'm concerned about some
Yeah.
of our young guys. That's my concern. When
Yeah.
it gets to playoff hockey, big bodies throwing the body around, playing Tampa, like the average height of that defense core is like 6'3".
Yeah.
They're giants.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like
They're gonna
that's
crush
my
Matthews
concern
and
when we get
Nylander
out there.
and-
Is this
Yeah.
team ready for playoff hockey?
To be fair,
that's my concern.
And also, good point. Tavares, it's not like he's been in a lot of playoff situations on the Islanders.
Yeah.
This
he o-
is pretty new to him.
I think he only won one series with the Islanders,
I
and
think
that's it.
that's right.
Yeah, I
that's
think he
right.
made it twice to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
I think something
in
around
9
that,
years
yeah.
or something like that.
But what was I about to say? I had something.
I mean, I got some just other stats and stuff that are relatively recent from the week. We're gonna go with some positive stuff. Of Erik Karlsson, pretty impressive. He's been 14 straight games with
With a
an
point.
assist. I
Mhm.
think with a point.
After that slow start,
yeah,
too.
joined some elite company in that, and then
Ah,
I
that's
want to go
expected.
what I actually kind of celebrated off air there. I don't like to hate on too many players in the NHL. But God, do I think Milan Lucic is a big pile of shit and got paid way too much money.
Oh, I
in
disagree. I
Edmonton.
love that guy.
Oh
He's-
my
he's
God!
a
I
big
think
body.
He's a big brute. Had a couple of good years in Boston, then got paid fat to go play with McDavid, basically to protect him after he broke his collarbone first year. Hasn't done shit all in Edmonton.
But Edmonton doesn't
Terrible.
do shit.
All he's useful for is winter season skiing down the double black diamonds he's got off that gigantic nose of his, all right? This guy is ridiculous. Here's the stat for him. Snaps a 41-game goalless drought the other day, all right? Third goal in last 89 games. Put me out there with a left stick. I shoot right. I'll give you 3 goals in 89 games.
Just give
What
him one
is this
skate,
crap?
dude. Just
Yeah.
give him one skate.
What he got paid is absolute shit.
Buddy,
if you
that-
want
Well,
to defend him,
that's Edmonton
that's
more than
fine.
anything.
Well, no, the
man.
funny thing about Edmonton too is like the same thing with Boston last year is that they're just a one-line team. Like it's just McDavid, Draisaitl, and like that's it. Like no one else is able
like-
to pick up.
That's
at
not even
all.
a full line though. Like that team's a joke.
Yeah, who else is
Oilers.
on that
Oh,
line
I
again?
remember actually last week when we did the first podcast, we said we wanted to talk about McDavid and his future with Edmonton,
Mhm.
and I think that should start being a hot topic.
You
Because
think they'd trade him?
okay,
No
Edmonton's
way
not
they
gonna
would
wanna
trade him.
And what did he sign? Like 10 years, 70? No, 10,
Yeah.
10 years, 100 million or something like that. Like
It's like 11 or 12 a year, something like that. I don't remember. 11 point something.
Okay.
13. Ridiculous. Whatever he wanted, and he took like a little bit less.
Yeah.
But he's arguably the best player now, McDavid. Like with the aging
Same with
Crosby and
yeah. They're-
Ovechkin
The
aging.
league
and-
is so young now that a new player can be big in like 2 years.
You're right.
One
My
year.
thing is,
McDavid
wouldn't
is in a
exactly
class
wouldn't he want to
of-
win a championship
Basically is a-
before
Yeah.
cement his legacy as this great? I know you could put up the points, but if you don't win a championship, again, the asterisks I said earlier.
Just- You
You're not
already,
winning
you already brought it up.
You're
It's
not
Edmonton.
winning one
It's
with Edmonton.
Exactly.
You're not winning one with Edmonton.
And he can't control that.
That front office makes constant mistakes. The only mistake they didn't make was drafting McDavid, and that was the biggest no-brainer of no-brainers of all time.
What do you want him to do?
Yeah.
He's locked for 10 years.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
They can trade him, but oh
only
my
thing you could-
goodness, that so many
you
pieces
can't-
have to be involved with
You
that.
can't trade McDavid. I understand you say you can't trade anybody. Gretzky got traded. I get that argument. And you know what?
Gretzky got traded because Edmonton was going bankrupt.
And they shouldn't have. And Gretzky went off to keep winning stuff. I
Yeah.
understand.
But he never
all
won
that.
another championship.
He went to the final with LA's. That's it.
And, I thought with the Rangers as well.
Did he go into the finals? I don't think
Whatever.
he went to the finals.
Long
with
story
Rangers.
short, you ain't trading McDavid. You just can't. Like, you would have to be just absolutely blown out of the water. And, like, sure, I guess, yes. If you're blown out, you do it. But, like, you can't. If you
But
trade
I
him,
feel
then
bad
what do you
for
do?
his legacy. Not only is he like a local,
He
I
took the
understand,
money.
but
He
they're
took
business.
the money, man.
They're a business. They don't give a shit about their players' legacy. They want to win championships. And as much as it's going to, like,
no, but
we'll bring, like-
his mindset.
he can't
McDavid's
do
money.
anything.
Yeah.
He can ask to be traded, and then he'll be like, well,
if
you're
a-
the best player that we've had in forever, so no.
To be fair, when
Yeah.
Kawhi held out,
Like,
I know this is a different league, but when Kawhi held out, he was arguably the top 2 or 3 guy in the league.
Yeah.
The same position in David's in.
But it's more with the NHL. It's more the trades are on the management.
McDavid,
NBA is more on the players.
McDavid, I promise you, is not the type of player that'll force himself
To
out.
hold out.
As much as this is
No.
just a shit show, he's got paid. I promise you, the class that he was raised with, he's not going to be a player that literally forces his way out of town.
Do you
The
know-
only way he gets traded is just because someone blows him out of the water, and Edmonton somehow accepts that we fucked up everything, and we're
Yeah.
fire sailing the whole world, including the best player, which I still don't know how you do.
Yeah. But I just don't know. The thing I just love so much is when he got drafted. Just like it was just the Leafs
Okay,
and,
thank you for bringing
and
that
the
up.
Oilers.
I
and
w-
he got
as a
drafted in
Leafs
his
fan,
face.
I was so heartbroken.
I
We
was
got
heartbroken.
down to the
too.
last
He was heartbroken.
ball.
He was
Last
heartbroken
ball.
too, man.
Last ball, Leafs had the highest probability.
He didn't want to go to
We
Edmonton
had
too.
the highest probability.
Yeah.
for
Wasn't
Connor,
his dad said he's not
bleeping
playing at
McDavid.
Edmonton?
Yeah, he's not playing. His dad
Connor
said.
bleeping McDavid.
Yeah, I
And
know
we
that would be
lost
actually
to
so
one
nasty.
last
Yeah,
Lottery
but you know
ball
what? I'm
for
happy
like
with
the
Matthews.
fourth first overall pick
Yeah.
in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
The Edmonton Oilers.
yeah, and they still can't do anything.
They're still crap.
Yeah,
I got a few more just quick fires that I thought were hilarious. You guys somehow missed the Bucks troll. I'm not sure if you guys saw Panarin. So out in Columbus, they're trying to keep him there, and so there was a distillery that put out an advertisement that says, "Stick with Columbus and enjoy free high bank for life." Offering free vodka for life to Panarin to stick with Columbus. Thought that was pretty humorous.
I forget what player it was, but his his local bakery or something like that just told him like you can just get free like bread for like the rest of your life, free donuts.
Oh, who was that? Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Was it? I think it was. Was it basketball? This player that played? I'm not.
I'm not entirely.
I
sure.
forget
I want
who
to say
it
it was
was.
a different sport. I forget. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's another just jokes thing.
Yeah.
We all know Seattle's on its way to the NHL. I just saw something.
7 years. They're gonna try to have an All-Star game
That's
in
what I
Seattle
saw today.
I
7
think that's a great
years.
move by Batman.
Within 7 years, they're calling. So that'll be interesting. That'll be cool. I'm interested to see the rules they'll put on the expansion draft this time. They definitely made
I
it.
think it's not a bad idea.
I think they said the expansion draft this year they're gonna keep it pretty much exactly the same.
It
as
probably
Vegas.
will be because it worked out. They gave them a very good team. It worked out.
The thing is too, the league's kind of, there's an odd number of teams right now. There's 31, so one
31.
conference has more teams. So it makes sense to add another team.
Yeah, for sure. The thing I just want to know is how they're gonna do it afterwards, is because when you add that one team, some divisions in the conferences have 6 teams and some have 7. I think is if my math is correct. I forget what. Hold on a sec. Let me just check it out.
All good. I got a question for you, gents, as you look that up, because we were talking the last podcast about All-Star for the NHL.
Oh, no, it all evens out to 8.
Yeah,
So Carey Price isn't going anymore. It looks like Vasilevsky is.
he can't though, because they already have 2 from the Lightning.
I
guess.
don't want to tell you that's what I'm looking at my phone, but this is what I'm being informed.
I mean, that's Carey Price isn't going because of a groin injury
I
or something like
believe
that.
it's-
Yeah, he has a little bit of an injury, and he says the extra, because the All-Star breaks like 5 days or something like that, and then he gets 1 game because they get suspended.
Him and Ovi got a 1 gamer.
Mhm.
They're both older too. Take the break.
For sure.
Yeah.
Take the break.
Ovi didn't have an off season to relax. He was partying everywhere in fountains with fans in Russia and Canada and America.
Yeah, Russians go hard too, man.
Yeah, man.
Guy was
For sure.
partying all off season.
Well, frig, man, that guy's been looking for that
Bent
cup
the
for
cup.
years.
Bent the cup doing cake
Did
stands,
he?
all right?
I did not know that.
The cup, you didn't know? You're
No.
no longer allowed to do keg stands with the Stanley Cup because they were doing it with like everybody. They're bringing on late shows, like just keg stands with the cup, and I think they did a little damage to it. So
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, isn't it the fake cup anyways? Like the real ones in the Hockey Hall of Fame. So who the hell gives a shit? That's something that. Why would you take that away from players?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
I don't know.
good time.
Also, going back to your previous topic about the vodka for life thing.
Oh yeah, Panarin.
Hey, if this was the 80s or 90s, there'd be a lot more players down for
Yeah.
that, man.
'Cause
they're
I
not making-
guarantee.
they're not making
Nowadays,
as
it's
much,
just
right?
millions. It's just a funny ad. You know, they're
Yeah.
making millions, but
I actually want to see one day that actually
I feel like
working.
Phil Kessel would take that. That guy looks like a closet alcoholic, and I don't. I feel
Yeah,
like
but-
the Leafs
yeah,
franchise did that. To
What are they
him.
going to offer Phil Kessel? What are they just all the hot dog vendors
Yeah,
around
all
the
the-
stadium going to be like, free hot dogs for you,
Yeah.
Phil?
Yeah.
He's gonna be 6 years old, going to the games in Pittsburgh, and still walking around just like, I want my free hot dog.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, you
sir, you
deserve
made
it, Phil.
$100 million in your career. My free hot dog. You understand?
Oh my god.
And one for the kid too. Let's go.
Have you ever have you ever seen that video of that Jets fan that looks like exactly like
I
Phil
have seen
Kessel?
that, man. I have seen
Phil the
that.
thrill.
The best I had is I saw this question on Reddit once, and it was so I see that in different sports the players are usually in very good shape, but do all NHL players look like Phil Kessel?
Oh, I missed. The best was the traveling joggers.
Oh yeah.
The traveling joggers. You'd go to
They
a game.
hung up the skates though.
Yeah, wherever Yammer was, they would just they'd be like 8 of them, just with all the different jerseys that
And the
Yoggers
mullets,
won.
too.
Yeah, all wearing mullies.
Oh.
It was the
He
best.
was
you
a
ever
beaut, though.
yeah,
man. There's one player to
he's a
follow, man.
beaut.
He was a beaut.
But have you seen that I remember I was watching a Flames game, and it was a whole post-game thing, and they had the traveling Jagers with them, right? But they didn't have one of them with the Calgary
Yeah,
Flames.
I put out my application. I was looking to join.
Yeah.
I noticed they were down 1.
Yeah. So Yager actually, after the game, came up to them and actually, like, talked to them, like, during the interview. So they were so surprised, right? He actually came in, gave him a jersey, and signed it too. And he was just like, yeah, just give it to someone.
The problem with that is, he didn't have 8 jerseys to sign. So, like, one guy got the jersey. What are they going to do? What is this, the sisterhood of the traveling pants? Like, everybody gets the jersey for a few months.
Did you guys see what Gritty did?
No, what did Gritty do?
Did you see the?
Did he break the internet
I
again?
don't believe
No.
so.
Did you see the shade that Gritty threw again?
No.
Oh, guys.
We've been missing a lot of these.
Come on, you're missing all the
To
funny
be fair,
stuff.
I'm not like a memer, so like
I'm not a memer,
I
but
love
I just
my
found
memes.
all the
I
I,
just
funny
I don't.
stuff.
I also don't have social media, so you know how
Yeah.
hard it is for me to keep up with stuff.
Buddy, this is just on the score. Okay, so Gritty was just having some fun doing the stupid stuff that Gritty does. And so first, like, the stupid Bird Box challenge. I don't watch Netflix enough, but I'm aware.
I've been avoiding that
Do
just
yourself
because
a
people
favor
are
and
trying to-
don't watch
hey,
that movie.
Hey, it's your podcast, but I'd rather not diving deep
Yeah,
into that
yeah.
crap. But so he does a little thing. He puts on a blindfold, like, and it's just a guy holding him a sign, like the Bird Box challenge.
Yeah.
And then he drops it, and the sign below it is the Cody Parkey challenge. And then he just kicks a field goal with the blindfold on. And just takes the biggest shot at Cody Parkey, who was just in his home, hermiting from everybody in this world.
Oh man.
And Gritty's just got to take a shot when a man's down.
Who was that player that played for Boston that completely flunked that line drive that went through his legs in the 80s? It was like when Boston was 1 out away from winning
Oh
the
my
World
God!
Series.
I know exactly the play you're talking about. I'm blanking on who it is, but yeah,
they had the whole curve and
He just blew it. A grounder right through his legs.
Yeah.
Just didn't close the wickets.
Do you know what I always found funny about that is just like he
To be
didn't
fair,
really
That's standard baseball practice.
he didn't care about like the whole play. He's just like, oh, I just lost the game. But like, of course, Boston lost their shit because they're trying to break the curse, right? I don't know.
Tell that to the freaking who was it? The Brazilian fan who the two of them that got killed by was it the Brazilian player who screwed up in the finals of the World Cup? They didn't get the cup, and then he went to a bar, got into an argument with 2 like mobsters, and got killed.
I think so. I think it was that or Colombia.
Oh yeah, it might have been Colombia actually. It might
Well,
have been Colombia.
I just want you to know that the Giants haven't
Poor
won.
Parkey. I'm not saying you're gonna die though.
The Giants haven't won a playoff game, nor I think been to the playoffs ever since they took a nice little boat vacation before their playoff game. The last time they were in the playoffs, remember that? Eli Manning and the boys, and just nice little yacht.
The banana boat.
Yeah. Oh, banana boat
The
with
banana
LeBron
boat.
James and all them. Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't know what you guys got. I think I'm done on my NHL topics.
I mean, we're pretty much like at 50 minutes right here, so
Probably a good cutoff for Annie. What do you got?
Yeah.
Anything else
You got
for us?
anything else you want to
I guess I'm trying to think of a fun question to give. Here's one. If there's one NHLer you would want to spend a day with, former and present, who would you guys want to hang out with?
Oh
Former
my
and
God.
present?
Yeah.
Wait, do I get one of each, or do I get?
Just I guess you
one?
can say you can like
I think
elaborate
you
on
gotta
both.
go one of each because, like, don't get me wrong. There's the Bobby Orrs, like there's the other people, but like it's hard not to say Gretz. Like he's still alive. You tell me you don't want to hang out.
No.
He's a
with
beaut too. Like he's.
I wouldn't want to chill with Michael Jordan.
I thought we were talking about NHL.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
are.
are,
but
we
I'm
are,
just
we
using
are.
an example.
Oh,
If
yeah,
we're talking
yeah.
like the greatest. Michael Jordan seems like a prick, and I feel like Wayne Gretzky's got a little bit of that in him.
Okay. Nonetheless, I mean, I started it. That's a lock and load for me. Gretz.
Gretz?
I love to hang out with
All right. What
Gretzky.
about current then?
That one's tougher, but I mean, I guess I'll just keep it locked and loaded. He's my favorite player. I think it'd also be a fucking just great time to hang out
Jamie
with.
Benn?
Me and Jamie Benn are going to have a
Jamie Benn.
great day. Whatever the fuck we decide to do is going to be just a
Just
great
pounding
just
them
a
back.
dummy of a day. Oh, there'll be alcohol consumed, maybe some safety meetings. Who knows?
Okay, you guys are gonna be like, "What the hell?" I'm gonna choose Hot Dog Phil.
Hot dog
Phil
Phil.
the Thrill's going to
Yeah,
have
Phil
a
the
day.
Thrill.
How
But
many
like,
hot
but the
dogs
thing
you
is,
gonna
though,
eat?
first of all, he just seems like a drinker and like a good eater. You know what I mean? Like, I
You'd
feel
have a
like I
good
get a
time.
couple good meals, and he just And the thing is, I was never critical of Phil while everybody else was because he was the best player on a shitty team. Like, leave him alone, guys. You know what I mean?
Although
leading-
Phil the
leading
Thrill
in
are going to
score.
be at the carnival, Phil's going to be going for the hot dog eating contest.
You better give him that free hot dog.
Yeah,
you know what I
You
mean?
gotta get those in a blanket too.
Yeah, whatever I have to.
Okay, I like that.
And then I would say older player. I don't know if you guys are like, oh, geez. One of the players on the Lightning team that won in like 04 or whatever. Like St. Louis or Happy Bulin. Because honestly,
how about Torts? Would you want to spend a day with Torts?
No, he scares me. I don't like Torts, man. I don't want to knock him, honestly.
Quick shout out, just 'cause I didn't even think about it. I'd love to spend a day with Joe Sakic.
I was thinking I was thinking
think that
Patrick
would be
Waugh.
great.
He's like a quiet captain guy.
Wouldn't
which I
you
think
want to
would be
pick Patrick Waugh's brain about some Tendy?
I would love to. I just feel like Patrick Waugh has such a huge ego.
What about Brodeur?
Brodeur for sure.
Great time.
But
I was thinking Cujo. I think
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah, I was thinking Cujo too,
fan,
but I
that
heard
would be a great time.
But like, I know people who know him like because he has a home around the corner.
I've
Yeah,
played.
exactly.
I've played
I
on
know he's a prick.
Cujo's practice rink.
Oh,
like,
you
on
played
his
it?
house.
Is it inside?
Yeah, he's got it just like in a barn. You
Yeah.
know what's hilarious too? The guy that is his Zamboni driver, his name is Guy.
Guy.
His name is
Hey,
Guy.
The guy that Zamboni.
I know
plays,
another
his name's
Guy
Guy.
as
I
well.
actually I call my friend's Guy.
Hey, Guy.
Like, it's like, hey, Guy.
Yeah, you
I actually
you
I
definitely
picked it, I
do
picked it
that.
up from my
kid.
buddy Wade from
How do you
college.
Name your kid? What are you gonna name your son?
I don't know, Guy.
Guy. Got it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what would be fun? You chill with like the Stahl brothers because you get one
Couple
They're
bros.
kind of like a package deal. You
Yeah,
get
I
one,
just
you
picked
get the
one.
rest of them. You know?
All the
Yeah,
Stahl
yeah.
brothers are here.
Or the Sedines, like you get both of them. Like I'm gonna.
I'm interested,
Yeah.
Franny. What are yours? You've had some time to think.
Okay, so for me, I think the player that I'm gonna have to go with, the player that actually got me into hockey itself when I first came to Canada. I remember watching my first game. Well, I don't think it was my first game because I remember going to Washington game in like '99 when my family came to visit once. But the player that stood out to me the most as a kid was Dominic Hasek.
Oh, that would be a great
I was
time.
because the way the thing I loved about Dominic Hasek.
Brick wall.
I mean, you've
Flip-flopping.
played hockey with me before. Like I flop so like I can't do it like
Buddy,
Dominic. Not even
goaltending
close.
back in the
but-
day was just so much cooler to watch.
Yeah.
Like it was so fun.
Yeah, the filthiest
Yeah,
mask.
so
but like
fun.
he was just like butterfly was a thing at the time. He's like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna roll around the ground and be like 5'9".
Like it was it was the best,
Yeah.
man. And it was great.
Yeah,
It was elite at it.
yeah. But another player I had to choose between that and Brodeur because
That made-
Brodeur was another player I love
just
so
'cause
much
it made
because
me
he's just a
think
goofy guy.
When he spent the Detroit days, just to watch him, Datsuk. I would just put a bunch of pucks around and be like, just
yeah,
fiddle
just
around.
go.
Just fiddle around
Actually,
and I'm just gonna watch.
I'm actually gonna change mine because I think it would just be hilarious. Ty Domi.
Ty Domi.
I was actually
Imagine
gonna take
spending
a
a
shout
day
out.
with.
Another
I would want
hometown
to
guy.
fight him though. You don't understand though. I would
Yeah.
want to take a couple shots.
I was
going
gonna give a
Yeah.
shout out to my
Yeah.
sister because I don't know why, but for some reason growing up, my sister's favorite player was Ty Domi.
yeah.
as
See,
a
I
Leafs
was
fan.
So
short
many
my
people
whole
know-
life, right?
People
I-
love
I
him.
want to get a Ty Domi jersey.
Yeah,
That's what
Ty
that and
Domi,
Tucker.
little guy, just
That's what
fighting
it was. I was
everybody.
short, right? And then I had
Heavyweight
growth
too,
spurt,
man.
but-
Everybody.
Heavyweight in fighting too.
Didn't lose
He
much,
took
man.
on Chara, bro.
He
There
met-
was like a foot between the two of them.
Buddy, he would just take blows and it just wouldn't matter. He'd just keep
Yeah.
feeding them. Just
I don't
keep
care how.
feeding
And you know what it was? He was one of the few enforcers that wasn't the worst like player as well. Like we had like Colton Orr.
Oh man,
He was the enforcer, but he was terrible.
have you guys seen that Bob Probert versus Ty Domi fight?
I
back in the
believe
day?
so. Yeah.
It's just like they were both like the two heavyweight fighters back in the day, but like Probert has like reach and height onto
Yeah.
Domi, but Domi was
Domi-
actually able to hold in.
It
like
was
pretty
impressive how well Domi still fought with how small this guy was and the jersey tugs
Good.
and
Yeah.
all that crap.
See, that's why I like Tucker too, because he was another guy that was
the
so
1-2
small.
punch, that was the
But,
best.
yo,
Darcy Tucker, Ty Domi days.
The dude had so much
But
energy.
Tucker was skilled as
but
well.
Tucker was skilled, and he can just knock the bodies over. Like he can just check like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm surprised none of us mentioned
What?
Sundin.
Sundin?
Sundin, the
See, I wasn't
Cabaret
like
McCabe.
I loved I love Sandine, no doubt about it. Got to be one of my favorite players of
I
all
got
time.
Matt Sundin jersey growing up. Like Sundin
Yeah.
was the man.
But like to me as a kid, especially in like 2002, I loved Gary Roberts.
Gary, I had a Gary
Yeah,
Roberts
that's a good
jersey.
choice.
Number
Gary
7,
Roberts was
Gary
nasty.
Roberts.
Yeah.
People still training with that guy, eh? He's still He trains with a lot
Yeah,
of
no,
big boys.
he's a fitness guy
Stam,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stamkos, a lot of guys train with him in the
Opposite.
offseason.
What player would you not want to spend the day with?
Least? Okay, just one in general.
Oh wait, I didn't
Old-time,
do my
new-time?
player I want
Okay,
to do.
okay, go.
I think the player that I would actually want to now, I know it's going to be generic, but I would say Matthews, or one of my like players that I don't like the most in the league. Why am I blanking out his name? Brad Marchand.
Oh.
Because
so
I feel
you'll
like
lead us off.
he's a guy that just like I don't like, and I just like I don't like him because he's that guy that you're not supposed to like on the team. Like, you know, he's kind of like the
So
cadre.
are you
He's
saying you want to hang out with Brad
yeah,
Marchand?
because I feel like he's not going to be that bad in like person.
I
I
thought-
still feel I think he's going to be a good guy. He's a guy that's really
He might
loyal
lick
for
your
his friends.
face.
Well, he might.
He might
he
lick your face.
But here's the thing. Like, I'm a bit of a goon, and he's a goon as well, too, right?
Just might like it, that's all.
Yeah, so, like, I feel like...
I like how we all
Yeah,
had
something.
different approaches to who we
Yeah.
would pick.
Okay, so who would you
The least
want to hang
favorite.
out?
I got my
Least
answer.
favorite?
Last thing.
Least favorite. That's a hard one for me. Aldo, go first, and then
Okay,
I'll-
you know what? I try to avoid swearing, especially on air. But Joffrey fucking Lupul. Because
Lupul?
I feel like
Did
he
he
could
fuck-
chill
did he
with.
fuck
I
your
feel like
girl?
if
Oh,
you
no, that was
chill with
enough.
Lupul, honestly, he would just go on about it, just like, I never got my shot. Like, you know, like I was great, and then just nothing. Like he would
never
just
given the
tell
right
you like the
opportunity.
whole time about how he was supposed to be this
could see
good
that.
guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Where's he at right now? Is he at the Blues?
he's out of the league.
Get what
Is
we
he?
dumb.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm thinking of Bozak.
Joffrey
yeah,
Lupul,
Bozak's a
man.
St. Louis Blue.
I feel like I liked him as a player, and I hated how it ended. It's kind of like, you know, it's weird because like the same thing happened with Chris Bosh, where it's like health reasons and then he can't come back. But Chris Bosh said, "Oh, I'll take a front office role. Oh, you know, if my career is done, whatever, I'm gonna focus on my children." You know, Joffrey Lupul was just like, "Screw the Leafs." It's just like, no,
It's a-
screw you.
That's a decent pick.
There was such a toxic fan base at that time,
Yeah.
though.
That's
Agreed.
a decent pick because I'm having a
Agreed.
difficulty thinking. I just love the NHL. I like the beauties.
Like,
That's
there's
tough,
not
but
there's not a
you
lot
got
of
pick for any?
there's not a lot of players for me that I would say like I would really not want to meet, except for one that I just thought of right now on the spot.
What just boom? What just clicked? Light
Eric
bulb.
Lindros.
You don't want to hang out with Eric
I
Lindros.
Really?
I don't want to hang out with Eric Lindros.
What about Roenick?
Because no,
Interesting.
Ronick I would like to, but like just
Oh,
I
my
mean, I'm not
God.
gonna.
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
not gonna. Just I don't know. Like I know there's a bunch of NHL players that are like this, but I heard like just from people that I knew, like in Toronto, like going into the clubs back in the day when he was in the Leafs, like he was always that guy at the club that always was trying to start fights with people, and he would always be the biggest baby when like girls didn't want to go home with him like during the night. Like another player that I heard too is like JVR, like when he got rejected like by like girls and stuff like that he would just tell him, Google me, I'm famous, like stuff
Wow.
like that.
What a douchebag move,
You know what?
man.
This is a different sport, but kind of along those lines. It would probably be cool to hang out with Derek Jeter. I've heard that he just
Yeah, I
sends,
agree.
He sends
He was
ladies off with
smart,
a gift.
man.
Have you heard about this? He just sends ladies off with a gift basket. That's
Oh,
what I've heard.
actually,
When they're done, they just get a gift basket and they just
He was
like,
so
How about
smart.
A-Rod?
like just like shift.
No,
it.
the only reason
A-Rod,
why
no
he's
one
so-
would want to meet
I would just want to be
A-Rod.
with A-Rod so I could see J-Lo up close and personal. man.
My big sigh when you brought up though was I didn't even think about it. If someone I'd want to hang out with is Timu.
Timu
Solani,
Solani?
I think you'd have
Oh,
a great time.
that
with.
would be
He's
great.
just a
You know
funny
what?
guy. You see his retirement thing, the golf thing,
Agreed.
chucking his bag.
You
oh,
don't know.
yeah.
You know who I think would be fun, but he could be a little bit of a prick is Ovi. Because
Over, you just have a
the
good
thing is,
time. You have a
Ovechkin-
great time.
Ovechkin was hilarious.
Malkin, those
you remember,
Russians
like,
are
sitting
gonna.
on the
How about
golf cart?
Bobrovsky? Like no one
Good
said
time.
Bobrovsky.
But the thing is, Ovechkin, like Russians go hard, man.
Oh yeah.
I would like to spend a day with like partying in a club with Ovechkin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not even just that. You seen like I don't know if you seen it. Like at the start of the game, he was driving the golf cart like a maniac, and the other he had a teammate just hanging on for dear life, and
Yeah.
Ovechkin's just like, oh, he looks fun. Like he just seems like a.
The
Fun,
Mar-
but I
the-
feel like he had a little bit of an ego.
The Marshawn Lynch play, driving around in the cart at the stadium.
Oh, that's
back-
so
back-
funny.
back
You know
in
what's funny?
college,
Action
but-
Bronson, like it involved with music and stuff like that now. But like he would, I remember one time just hearing that he went into a golf cart while he was on stage and just was rapping around, like driving around
awesome.
with his wireless.
That's
mic.
awesome.
You gotta respect
Yeah.
that move.
That's
Gotta
unique,
respect that
man.
move.
Boys, we're getting at the hour point. anything you wanna? Oh,
I
did you
gotta
get it?
take mine.
Oh,
who
right.
I
I'm so
don't wanna
sorry.
hang
I'm
out
so
with.
sorry.
Come on, disrespecting the coach
Yeah,
like
2 minutes.
that. You in the box, 2 minutes.
2 minutes for interference.
Yeah.
4 minutes, high stick, and I'm
Yeah.
bleeding. All right. This was tough. I thought about this a little bit because, for the most part, I'm a big fan of anyone's in the NHL. But I think there's 2 people that popped up. I got one that I'm selecting. Actually, the guy you brought him up. You said you might want to hang out with him. Brad Marchand, I would not want to hang out with. Honestly,
I
I'm with
respect
you,
that.
dude.
I
He
respect
said
that.
my thing with him would be like the end of like the Step Brothers movie when they just look at him and he's like, I don't know what it is, but something about your face. You gotta fix it.
He has
I'm
that
gonna
face.
punch it. Like I would
It's
just
the
look
nose,
at him
man.
and I'd just be like, I just want to punch you in the face. And,
Yeah.
and Marchand would be like, is there anything I can do about it to change? I'd be like, no, it's just your face. I just want to punch it.
I didn't
not
know
punch you
here,
square in the
not
face.
there.
See, you
just
said the end of the
right
movie,
here.
so for some reason the first thing that popped in my head was it's the fucking Catalina
Yeah,
wine
fucking
mix.
Catalina
It's right there.
wine
It's,
mixer.
it's
Yeah.
at the Catalina wine
It was
mixer.
right. It was like right before they
Like I was
went on
just,
stage.
I was like, wait, why doesn't he want
But
to go
so
to Catalina wine
it'll
mixer?
bring it. It'll go up. I brought him up earlier. The guy that at least I want to hang out with is goddamn Lucic. All right, buddy.
Lucic, Milan Lucic.
Useless. I wouldn't have anything good to say about him.
Matt-
Literally, all I would do
Yes.
all day is tell him to shut the fuck up and let me just ski down the hill that is his black diamond nose and that gigantic nose of
I
his.
love this question, by
And,
the way. This is
I'd
a
be
phenomenal
done.
Sean
question.
Avery's another player
Excuse
that comes to
my
Oh,
mind.
Sean
aggressive
Avery.
language, but
Oh,
God, do I
Matt
hate
Cook.
Lucic.
Matt Cook. Who's that guy that Domi just like completely like sucker punched on Florida? Like he was
Oh.
like Finnish or something like that.
You know who also I would hate to have a day with? Both the people in the Todd Bertuzzi accident. So Todd Bertuzzi and then
I was
was it,
figuring Bertuzzi might come up.
and the other
Mhm.
guy, because the guy who was the guy that got shot? It was Adam? Was it Cook or something? I forget. Like it was Adam.
It was Adam something.
Anyways, I feel like he would just be like same thing as Lupo. I never got my chance. I got a dirty shot, and then Bertuzzi, it would always be that like little bit of like, dude, you ruined this guy from a dirty hit.
All right, I think you got to take this over before
Steve
I start
Moore.
thinking about other
Steve
people
Moore,
that I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
salty about.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just end it off over there. Thanks a lot, guys. Double episode. Oh, you got something to say?
No, good.
Oh,
I just
no, you
want to
don't?
add a nice little finish to
little
your
outro.
beautiful.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So thanks a lot,
Coach's
guys,
Corner.
for coming over here. It's
I
almost
can't
Coach's.
possibly take that.
Yeah, I think Coach's Corner is taken.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody did that before?
Yeah.
I thought that was
What?
so unique.
I don't know, some
Oh,
guy named
wow.
Bananas or something like that.
I don't know.
Wears a Nuts jersey all the time.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess we're signing out from the Groove Lab.
In the Groove Lab, you stay classy now. Stay classy.
Ciao.
Ciao.